We thought that the only thing that would say off if the vape was low. Guys, I was walking outside hitting the smoke off my head. I'm not even joking. I see that phone ringing. Mommy, my heart is beating, right? He's like,
Uncle, what am I hearing? It would have even been better if I found out that you got into a fight. But smoking? Cigarettes?
and then she was like,
If you went to Lily's house, what would have happened? What if you guys got kidnapped?
and I was thinking, Mom, this is Nigeria. Like, this is actually not Nigeria. We're not gonna get fucking kidnapped. I'm going to see my friend for the weekend. Like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new here. My name is Ngozi. As you guys can tell from the title, I've got for you a story time about the time when I almost got suspended from school, almost got shipped back to Nigeria. The key word in this story time is almost. Okay, so this was around like September 2015. So this was like when I just started year 12, I believe, like early days in year 12, and I went to boarding school. I've said this before, and obviously like you tend to be more bored than the average person when you're in boarding school, especially if you're full boarded. And should I do this? Oh well, said we were bored, right? So we used to vape. Okay, vaping, for those of you who don't know what it is, better off you don't ever know what it is, because it's a terrible habit and it's not good for you at all. But we used to vape, right? And it was like a trend to like name your vape. So like everyone had like names for theirs, and mine was called Candy Flanker. That was like my first vape. And we had this thing where it's like one person started it off, like the trend, and then it just kind of everybody started using hers, and then I wanted to get mine, and then I got mine, and then it became a thing where like during lunchtime, because we had our lunch break lasted forever. Like there was sometimes we had lunch break for like an hour and 20 minutes or something, or even a bit more, and then you'd have like a free period or something. So like we used to vape during like our break time. So like my room was like the spot where everyone would come and vape and like just chill and stuff, and it was so stupid. And thinking about it now, it's so pathetic. Like imagine, well, thank God we didn't have COVID by then, because imagine sharing one vape across like 5 people. Everybody would have had it. Anyways, so it was lunchtime now, and I'm like, okay, so the people who are involved in this story time, I wrote down their names with code names so I don't forget. So let me just look at my book real quick and like find out. Okay, so the main people involved in this story time are Tesla, Ginger, Gertrude, Stacy, and the person who is not too involved, Lily. So these are the main, remember these names, because these are the names I'll be using this whole time. So basically now, it was lunchtime, my friends Tesla, Ginger, and Stacy came to my room, and we're chilling, we're vaping and stuff. And bearing in mind, we started vaping, and like the fire alarm would never go off because it didn't produce that much smoke. So like no matter how much you did it, it wouldn't go off. Like it just didn't go off. So it kind of left our mind that it was possible for it to even go off. And like we didn't even put, you know how at uni some people put like socks over their fire alarm. The fire alarm at the school was freaking advanced. Like it could tell when oxygen was leaving it, so you couldn't even do all of that. Like you couldn't even cover it or anything. So it was just like, you know, we thought that the only thing that would say off if the vape was low. The main culprit when it comes to vaping, like with me, was Tesla. By the way, disclaimer, everybody in this story time, I'm still good friends with them. We made up, we're cool, okay? So we're still friends. But we were vaping and like it was fine, we were talking. And then one of my friends, Stacy, oh my god, it's so confusing using different people's names. This is so hard. So my friend Ginger, right, she thought it would be funny, because at the time I had braids. She thought it'd be funny to see what would happen if she blew the vape into my braids. And I didn't care, because I was like, yeah, whatever. And then she blew the vape. She vaped and then she blew the braid into my braid. And guys, when I tell you, like, I don't know what the hell happened, but there was some kind of chemical reaction with the vape in my braids. And maybe because of all the oil and stuff that I put on my hair. And literally, the fire alarm went off and we were freaking out. The first time we were like, is it us? Is it us? Is it us? We were all like freaking out. And then we because when the fire alarm goes off, you have to go outside. Guys, I was walking outside hitting the smoke off my head. I'm not even joking. I was walking out and I was still trying to like evacuate the smoke from my head because it went off, right? So obviously we go outside now for roll call. Roll call is what you do every day, but during a fire alarm you do it outside. Like most schools and most like places, when the fire alarm goes off, it will tell you exactly what room it went off in. So when they came to check, they saw that it was my room. Then my house mistress, I'll call her, she's the one that's called Gertrude, right? Gertrude, that woman, okay, I have love for her because really and truly she only meant well, but Gertrude was on my neck for the whole entire 5 years I was in that school. She was on my neck. I'm telling you, this woman was on me. So she saw that I was in my room. So she and one of the other teachers went into my room, and like, because I said, like, when we had the fire alarm, we panicked and I didn't even think to hide things. When she came in, she could see like the liquids, like the vape juice all over the floor. She could see like the coil, like basically all the vape spare parts. She could see it on the floor, so she knew what it was and she clocked it. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, they know it's us, because I didn't even tidy up everything. So they were like, okay, Tesla, Ginger, and Stacy, come to my office. Bearing in mind, all these girls were using my vape. Let's just remember that. Because even till this day, one of them, so I feel like Stacy now understands why we were annoyed at her. But even till this day, Ginger, I feel like till this day, she still doesn't get why we were annoyed at her. So basically, we get into the office now, and Gertrude, my house mistress, she knew that we're all in the room together, but she was trying to find out who was involved, because just because we're in the room together doesn't mean they were all vaping. So she asked Stacey, do you do vape? Stacey said no. I'm thinking, rah, is it? So when it's time to use Candy Flanker, you're there, but when it's time to own up to it, you're pussying out. Ginger, she asked Ginger, were you there? Bear in mind, Ginger is the person that blew the smoke into my hair. I'm telling you, I'm convinced that the reason it went off was because this girl blew into my hair. We beg to differ, but I think this is the reason. Ginger said no. I said, rah. I was like, wow, is it? Like, these are my friends, you know? And like, when it's time to break the rules, it's all fun and games until it's time to tell the truth. And then she was about to ask Tesla, and I was like, Tesla, come through for me. Like, come on, like, you, out of everybody here, you're the most loyal one. And she was like, Tesla, were you vaping? And Tesla was like, yeah. Like, thank God, because it would have been more on me if it was like I was the only person in the room vaping. I would have gotten in like more trouble, because these people were on me. So she was like, she didn't ask me if I was vaping, because it was my room, it was my vape. Obviously I was vaping. So she was like, okay, Ginger and Stacy, you can go to your rooms. Ngozi and Tesla, come with me. Guys, this woman, when I tell you, because the thing is, like, she really could have just kept it in the bud. Like, she really could have just kept it in the house. She could have just told people that it was a deodorant that set it off. She really could have just kept it, but this woman wanted us to get in trouble. I'm telling you, she delighted in getting me especially in trouble. I'm not even joking. So basically now, she's like, what happens when you smoke in school? You go to the headmaster's office, and there was this guy who was in charge of like boarders. He was like the head of boarders, and he was even more terrifying than the headmaster. So we went to his office, and they were like, explain what happened. And I said, oh, we were vaping and the fire alarm went off, and yeah, blah 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 blah. And they were like, okay, we're gonna think about what sanction we want to give you, and we'll, you know, get back to you later. I wasn't gonna say this, but basically Tesla, yeah, her dad was kind of like an important person in the other school, because this was a senior school and a prep school, and in the prep school her dad was kind of an important person, and I really feel like it was because of her that what we got was lowered, because honestly in that kind of scenario you can get suspended. You don't really get expelled if you vape. I mean, you can if you're already a problematic student, but if you're not, suspension is usually the least you get. But we got a Saturday detention, so it goes detention, Saturday detention, which you did in the headmaster's house, suspension, expulsion. That's how the punishment goes. So we got Saturday detention, so it was just one step off from detention. So I really feel like if not for Tesla, we would have got suspended. I would have got suspended. I really feel like they pardoned it a bit, because obviously they had a good relationship with her dad, which I'm grateful for, because I feel like that's what really helped me. So now Gertrude, now my house mistress, has gone to expose us to like higher authorities in the school, and I'm like, I hope you're happy now. The thing is, yeah, this woman, I feel like us getting punished was enough. There was no reason for her to tell my mom. There was no reason for her to tell my dad or my uncle. There was no reason. So and so when they told us we were getting a Saturday detention, we walked back to our boarding house now, and I was in the matron's office chilling. and my house mistress Gertrude came in, and she, with a smile on her face, right, guys, this woman was like,
I've called your uncle Chucks and I've called your mom.
and I've told them, and I was thinking, actually kill me now, because obviously, like, I don't care, like, if I, whatever punishment I get, if it's in school and it's just in school on the low, that's fine. But when you put my parents involved, you know what Nigerian parents are like, these things don't go down well, right? And I was like, wow, like, does that make you happy? Like, do you feel accomplished now? Because she was saying it with a smile on her face. Okay, guys, a little backstory. Boarders are allowed to go out to their friend's house on the weekends, but because of me and the kind of amazing mom I have, I wasn't allowed to do that because she didn't let me do that. So how it worked was, if you want to go to your friend's house on the weekend, you'd ask your parent to email Gertrude, the house mistress, to say yes, that you were allowed to. And because I wasn't allowed to, I had done something very naughty the day before, and I had gone into my mom's email. I know it's terrible, and I gave myself permission to go to Lily's house, right? I emailed Gertrude saying,
hello, Miss Gertrude. I, Ngoziaki's mother, give her permission to go to Lily's house this weekend.
Right, this will make sense when it comes in. So Gertrude comes and tells me,
Oh, I've told your mom. She's very disappointed. She's gonna
call you. And then I didn't realize. So basically, when Gertrude told my mom, she sent her an email and she said, Ngozi was involved in an incident in school today. She was caught smoking with her friends. This woman, she didn't even tell them that was electric cigarette, because this was what made me even get in more trouble. And then she was like, she was caught smoking in school. And because of this, Ngozi can no longer go to Lily's house this weekend. Do you guys get it? So obviously my mom's reading it and she's thinking, whoever said she can go to Lily's house in the first place? You know, like, whoever gave that permission? So it was like, something fishy's going on here. So my mom clocked I had forged her email in it and emailed my house mistress to give myself permission. So this was me, double the wahala. This was double the trouble for me. So my uncle called me. He's not really my uncle.
This is really disappointing. Your mom's gonna freak out. You shouldn't have done this, blah, blah, blah.
I'm like, yeah, whatever, just get on my phone, please. Like, really and truly. Yeah. My dad called me literally the day it happened. And he was like, what happened? And I told him, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, he was like, don't worry about it, never do it again, still love you. Like, he was just so, like, he was just the calmest guy ever, and he was so understanding. Like, he got it, you know, he understood me. And then he was like, when your mom is ready, she'll call you and she'll speak to you. My heart is like beating. This woman made me wait 4 days, and I didn't hear from her for 4 days. And I knew, that's how my mom is, when she has something shocking, she takes a while to inject it. Like, she takes a while to digest the information and then inject the, you know, shouting and all of that. So she made me wait 4 days. These 4 days were the worst 4 days of my school life. I was crying, I was anxious, I was freaking out, I was waiting for that phone call. It was bad, really, really bad. So now, day 4 of waiting for my mom's phone call, my mom finally calls me. I see that phone ringing. Mommy, my heart is beating, right? I pick up the phone and she's like,
Ngo, what am I hearing? It would have even been better if I found out that you got into a fight. But smoking? Cigarettes?
"What's up?" And I was like, oh my God. This one was shouting. She was like, are you still the same girl that I knew? All of this guilt-tripping language, all of this emotional blackmail language, all of this. And then she was like, she basically threatened me that if I didn't fix up, she was gonna tell my dad to like send me back home. Which I don't even know why I believed this, because there was no way he was letting me go back to Nigeria. So I don't know why I allowed that threat got into me, but I really thought that I was getting shipped back to Nigeria. And she was like, and my visa was coming up to be renewed or something. So she was like, oh, I'm not gonna pay for your visa, you're gonna come back home, all of this. And I'm like, that's literally the worst thing ever. And then she was like,
and you had the audacity to forge my email, you've broken trust.
All this. And guys, I do understand, me forging her email was so wrong. But guys, I was a full boarder. My friends would go to parties every other weekend, and the whole 5 years in that school, I would never go. When I was in sixth form, I wanted to go, and I'm so sorry. Like, it's not that I wasn't even getting invited to people's houses. I just couldn't go, and I felt trapped, you guys, and it was horrible. And that's why I did it, right? And then she was like,
if you went to Lily's house, what would have happened? What if you guys got kidnapped?
And I was thinking, Mom, this is Nigeria. Like, this is actually not Nigeria. We're not gonna get fucking kidnapped. I'm going to see my friend for the weekend. Like, nothing bad is gonna happen. So she was just like, she was so disappointed. I was crying on the phone because obviously I felt terrible and I felt really bad. And she was like,
Was it the first time? And
I was like, yeah, it was the first time. And she was like,
do you think I was born yesterday?
all of this like shouting, and I was thinking, oh my god. Like, the thing is, yeah, when people say they have strict parents, I don't think they really mean it most of the time. They're strict and they're strict, and my mom is way up there. So guys, like, because obviously the rest of these kids, they're all like English kids, they're all white kids, so obviously their mom and dad would be pissed off, but it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? It's not the same as when, you know, someone from an African background is pissed off about something like smoking. And when I tell you, like, she did not want to hear that word electronic. She did not want to hear that it was an electronic cigarette. It was, in her mind, it was like I was smoking. And obviously it sounds 10 times worse when it's like a real cigarette. I wouldn't be smoking a real cigarette in my room. I'm not dumb, you know. But guys, the thing is, yeah, what do you guys think? Because me and Tesla, we felt like Ginger and Stacy were snakes, because I'm sorry, but you don't do that. Like, we were all in it together, and they all, like, the thing is, obviously now it doesn't matter anymore, but I feel like that kind of thing, it shows you how people are. I'm not saying how they are. I feel like that is the sort of behavior that if you were to do something with your friends that you guys all agreed on, and shit went to, and it all went to shits, they would just leave you to the predicament. Because Tesla saying that she was in it, I feel like that's just loyalty. Like, that's how it's like, of course she was in it. Like, why would you deny something like that and put it all on me? I don't know if you guys think that. For me, I felt like what they did was wrong. And like, if you have the balls to break the rules, have the balls to admit. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, maybe it's not that deep. Maybe it was okay for them to just save themselves. Like I said, vaping is something that I don't recommend. It's not cool. I just hope you guys enjoyed this story time. It was just a very light-hearted story time, and I hope it was easy to follow. And yeah, I enjoy doing these, and I enjoy watching story times. So let me know if you enjoyed it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.